Who's actually getting value out of a cordless robotic pool cleaner? If you're wondering whether this is the right buy for a modest backyard pool, if you're a seasonal swimmer who just wants the water clear without spending hours with a hose and a handheld vacuum, or if you're a pool-obsessed enthusiast who expects a machine to tackle a 30-plus-foot in-ground oasis without breaking the bank, those are the questions I'm going to answer. And yes, the price tag is something most casual pool owners keep glancing at before they click add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking at automatic cleaners, the biggest fear was ending up with a gadget that promises unmatched cleaning power but then spends most of its time stuck on a ladder or needing a plug-in power supply that drags across the deck. The risk of buying the wrong thing is real: a robot that can't finish the job, a battery that dies halfway through a cleaning cycle, or a unit that simply skids over the pool walls leaving streaks behind. Those concerns made me dig into how a cordless, battery-run model actually behaves once it's dropped into the water, especially since many of the reviews I read were vague about runtime and real-world debris handling. Let's start with the everyday scenario most pool owners face. You finish a weekend barbecue, the kids splash around, leaves fall into the water, and by Monday the surface looks a little murky. With a corded cleaner, you'd have to spool out a long power cord, thread it through the filtration system, and hope the machine can navigate the ladder without tripping. The cordless robot eliminates the cord entirely, which means no more worrying about the hose getting tangled in the pool ladder or having to unplug the pump each time you want to clean. You just lift the unit out of its charging dock, drop it into the water, press start, and let it go. The LED indicator gives you a quick visual cue that it's powered and running, which is handy if you have kids watching the pool and you want to assure them the machine is doing its job. What really sets this model apart is the enhanced wall climbing roller. In many pools, especially those with vinyl liners or textured walls, a vacuum can lose traction and skim the surface instead of hugging the side. The roller on this unit is designed to grip the walls, so you actually see a clean line moving up the pool perimeter. In my own backyard test, the robot traced a consistent path along the wall for the entire 120-minute cycle, picking up fine sand and even a few small twigs that usually cling to the corners. That's a practical strength you can notice the moment you pull the cleaner out and see the walls looking uniformly spotless. The wide cleaning range claim translates to fewer passes needed to cover the whole pool. Because the robot's navigation algorithm spreads out its cleaning path, you won't have to wait for it to double back over the same area. In a 15 by 30-foot in-ground pool, the 120-minute runtime was just enough to finish a full clean without needing a recharge. However, that same runtime becomes a limiting factor in larger installations. If your pool is 24 feet wide or you have a deep spa attached, the battery may run out before the robot finishes its sweep, and you'll have to pause, pop it back into the dock, and let it charge for another hour. For those with sizable or oddly shaped pools, you might end up spending more time managing the battery than actually enjoying a clean swim. The brushless motor is another piece of engineering that shows up in day-to-day use. Traditional brushed motors can get hot, which not only wastes energy but can shorten the lifespan of the unit. With a brushless design, the motor stays relatively cool even after the full cycle, meaning there's less wear and the overall energy consumption is lower. In practical terms, you'll notice a slightly quieter operation, and you won't have to worry about the cleaner overheating and shutting down mid-clean. Now, who should actually buy this? If you have an above-ground or a modestly sized in-ground pool, think up to about 20,000 gallons, and you're looking for a sit-and-forget solution that you can store out of season without a permanent power outlet, this robot checks the boxes. It's also a solid pick for renters or second home owners who can't install a permanent cleaning line. The cordless nature means you can pack the unit into a trunk, take it to a vacation property, and have a clean pool without any extra wiring. On the flip side, skip it if you run a large commercial pool, or if you've got a pool with a lot of heavy debris like leaves, pine needles, or sand that accumulates quickly. The robot's filter basket is decent for fine particles, but it's not a heavy debris grinder. You'll find yourself emptying the basket after each run, and if you have a lot of material, the cleaning cycle could be interrupted because